Hello and welcome. Today, we're diving into the anatomy of what makes an expert consultant truly great. But we're not going to be looking at textbooks or theories. Nope. We're going straight to the source. We're analyzing dozens of real-world client reviews to figure out what really works. So let's start with the big question. What actually makes a business consultant effective? Is it just about having polished presentations and knowing all the latest buzzwords? Or is there something, something more human at the heart of it all? Let's dig in and find out. To get to the bottom of this, we're treating it like a case study. We've dug through a ton of public testimonials for a consulting firm called ATela Conseil. We were looking for patterns. We just wanted to know, when people are absolutely thrilled with the help they got, what are they actually praising? Now, to build a kind of roadmap for this explainer, we did something pretty cool. We took all that client feedback and fed it into a language model. And the keywords it pulled out are really telling. It's this fascinating mix of professional skill and, well, personal warmth. Words like professional, dynamic, benevolent, and attentive. These words are going to be the foundation for our entire breakdown. So let's get into part one, the human foundation. You might be surprised, but our analysis doesn't start with the technical skills. It starts right here. Because before you can even talk about strategy, you have to build a foundation of trust. So looking at all those testimonials, 3 personal qualities just kept popping up again and again. First, clients loved that the consultant was dynamic and passionate, bringing an energy that actually gets you excited. Second, they were benevolent and supportive, which created a safe space for people to be real about their struggles. And third, maybe the most important of all, they were an exceptional listener. You just can't solve a problem you don't truly hear. And check this out. This single quote from a client, Emily, just captures all 3 of those things perfectly. Dynamic, benevolent, attentive. But notice what comes next. I felt supported and got clear and simple advice. It shows you right there how those human traits are the launch pad for getting actual, effective results. Okay, so being a trusted partner is huge, but it's only step 1. How do you take that human connection and turn it into a process that actually works? Well, that brings us to the second part of our anatomy, the method for success. The feedback shows this really clear 3-step journey that clients went on. It always started by taking these big, complex business ideas and making them simple. Then putting those simple ideas into a clear, logical structure. And finally, making sure every single piece of advice was practical and could be used right away. This is literally the bridge from knowing something to doing something. Let's talk about step 1, simplify. This quote from Agnes is it's so powerful. Think about it. This isn't about dumbing things down. It's about respect. By just avoiding jargon and acronyms, the consultant made her feel included, empowered her to understand, and let her really own the plan. It's a small thing that makes a massive difference. Next up is structure. And Sandrine's comment here really hits the nail on the head. So many entrepreneurs have all the passion in the world, but they feel like they're lost in chaos. A great consultant comes in and provides that structuring base, that skeleton that turns a passion project into a professional business. So you've got the trust and you've got the method. Now it's time to roll up your sleeves and apply the specific, tangible skills. This is where the expertise really shines, solving a client's most urgent problems. So what were those problems? Well, the data from the testimonials paints a super clear picture. Almost half the praise, 45%, was for commercial strategy. After that came digital and web development, then help with training and pitching. It shows a consultant who's versatile but has a really clear focus. And this is what that looks like in the real world. Eve was stuck for days on a website problem. The consultant got it solved in less than 30 minutes. That is the magic of expertise, right? Turning days of frustration into a half-hour fix. It's just a perfect snapshot of efficient, real-world problem solving. We've covered the person, the process, and the skills. But what does it all lead to? What's the end game? This brings us to the final, and I'd say most important part of our anatomy, the tangible outcomes. This is the ultimate measure of value. The first major outcome we saw, mentioned over and over in the feedback, wasn't some business metric. It was a feeling. It was confidence. Letitia's testimonial just says it all. The expertise wasn't just about business. It allowed her to gain self-confidence. And notice how she connects that feeling to structuring her approach. When you finally know the steps to take, that confidence just naturally follows. The second key outcome is just as powerful: clarity. Clients would come in with this fog of ideas and worries, and they leave with a crystal clear vision of exactly what to do next. And Sophie Ann shows us what that clarity creates. It's not just a nice feeling. That clearer view translated directly into being able to write an effective and coherent pitch. Clarity creates action. It's that simple. And the final, most crucial outcome of all? Immediate application. The advice wasn't just some theory to think about later. It was concrete, it was practical, and it was ready to be put to work right now. I mean, Clementine's feedback is the perfect way to wrap this up. Very concrete and application right away. And that last sentence, areas for improvement, I don't see any. Wow. That is about the best seal of approval you could ever ask for. So, after dissecting all of that real-world feedback, we can finally put the whole thing back together. We can see the complete picture. This is our model for what truly impactful guidance looks like, the anatomy of an expert. And here is the biggest insight of all. These aren't just separate qualities you can check off a list. They're a chain reaction. The human foundation, who they are as a person, is what makes their method, how they work, so effective. That method allows them to apply their skills to solve real problems, which is what ultimately delivers a tangible outcome for the client. Every single part depends on the one before it. Which leaves us with one final question for you. As you think about your own journey, whether you're looking for a mentor, a coach, or a consultant, which one of these qualities is your absolute non-negotiable? Is it the human connection, the clear method, the specific skill, or is it all about that tangible result? Something to think about. Thanks for watching.